Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you're
Hi.
all doing awesome today. For those of you who are new to our channel or our page, I'm Mark. I'm a certified health coach, and this is Teresa. She is a board certified family nurse practitioner. So tonight we wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about balancing your hormones through supplementation in 2025. We've got a new year coming around, and so a lot of people will be having New Year's resolutions, and we thought it would be applicable to
Yeah.
talk to you guys a little bit about that tonight. So wanted to first talk a little bit about the thyroid. We're only gonna touch on a few hormones. We can't cover them all in one night, so we will try and do these more often to go over the different hormones and the deficiencies that you see in those. But the first one we want to talk about is thyroid. So there is a rise in issues with thyroid and hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism. So what you guys might know as overactive and underactive thyroid. Those are a growing problem here in the United States. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Vitamin D levels, irregardless of where you live, whether you're in the northern or southern hemisphere, as you age, you typically will lose vitamin D, or your levels will drop as you get older. And then we're also seeing just a general drop in vitamin D levels in the population as a whole. And that's the case with a lot of different levels of hormones. And then the last one we're going to talk about a little bit is DHEA. So what's that?
I love DHEA.
I know. So when we first got on hormones and started supplementing with those and taking those, DHEA was the very first one we got on, and we couldn't believe how profound within like a few days the effect was. There aren't a whole lot of supplements that you can take that you'll feel like a profound difference or a pronounced difference. A lot of them are just, you measure the levels after you've been taking them for a while, and they're either good or they're not. But there's a few out there. And I can think of like lithium off the top of my head, lithium orotate, and then of course what I just mentioned, DHEA, that actually you can feel a difference on. Oh, and then what's the other one? GABA and tensiones.
Oh yeah.
So some of the ones that are more for mood and depression and whatnot.
Yeah.
But DHEA is another one with age. So we have not only the levels declining here in the United States as a whole, but as we age, your levels can drop down to be only about 10 to 20% of the level that they were when you were younger. So,
and by age, that's 30 years old.
Not terribly old. And it seems like the age is rolling back and we're getting younger and younger, kind of moving those goalposts in the wrong direction, I think, is an overall issue we have, not just in this country, but across the world with our health.
Well, and things like DHEA on labs. So I use Quest at the office as you age. So, probably doesn't change until you get to be about 40. The range gets less and less, like lower. And then when you get to 70, for sure, the range goes super low. So what I have patients on, it comes back and reads high, but it's not. But yeah. We don't want to listen to the lab ranges.
No, definitely not. So anyway, going back to those different hormones we talked about and the balancing of those, you want to talk a little bit about thyroid, hon?
Yeah. So thyroid, if you scroll back a little bit, we did thyroid about 2 weeks ago, maybe. And hugely a small little gland in the neck, but worth a lot. Hair, skin, and nails, energy, anxiety, depression, heart disease, cardiovascular disease. Increase, if you have thyroid disorders, you can see an increase in your cholesterol, just like you can when you're in menopause. Not that I care about cholesterol per se, but you can also see it rise in those transient periods of your life. Birth control pill, which everyone gets put on. Now women are waking up a little bit more like, I didn't feel good on birth control. But birth control can significantly alter your thyroid. And then we have endocrine disruptors, and they significantly alter thyroid as well. Polycystic ovarian syndrome, women miss the enzyme needed to do all the thyroid conversions. Chronic fatigue syndrome should definitely be tried on thyroid. But there are some supplements to help with thyroid. If you can't find someone to help you, or whatever, there's thyroid supplements.
And we're going to talk a little bit about those here at the end of the video. We'll talk a little bit about the supplements that we take for these different things, but we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, but like zinc and selenium and iodine can all support thyroid.
Yes.
Now, to be transparent, I have thyroid disease and I don't always take those. But if you do, let your provider know, because I like to know and check selenium levels and iodine levels, because I've had some people come from chiropractors and their iodine level has been like, greater than 1,000, and the range doesn't go up that high. So you can get overdosed on some of this stuff.
Yeah. And so, another one too is sometimes vitamin D is associated with hypothyroidism. So, and interestingly enough, we're going to be talking about vitamin D here in a second, But vitamin D, I always like to kill two birds with one stone with supplements, because otherwise you end up, we start taking supplements for things that we've got issues with, regardless of why you're taking them. But you can sometimes get a little carried away and you have a whole bunch of supplements. So if I can take a single supplement for multiple issues, or if they have a supplement like we're going to talk about here in a few minutes that can actually combine multiple different minerals and vitamins and whatnot into one, it's tremendously helpful. It cuts down on how many pills you have to take, is what I'm trying to get at.
Many times patients come in and they've just been like stabbing in the dark and trying all these things because you hear all these things. But what we like to do at the office is targeted supplementation. So I rarely have people come from other clinics on like 30 supplements. Okay. Like 30 supplements.
Yeah.
That's too many. That's like a whole part-time job taking those supplements.
Yeah.
So I really want targeted supplementation. To only take it if you need it.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute too. But I think, are we good on the thyroid
I think
part of
so.
it? Okay.
I mean, yeah. I mean, those are things that you can do to help. But if you have a thyroid disorder, like by labs, are too high or too low, you really need prescription medication.
Yeah, for sure. And also understand that when we're talking about supplementing, we're not going to be able to achieve the same types of super physiological levels that Teresa is doing when she's trying to optimize your hormones, by taking an actual prescribed hormone.
Yeah.
So don't think we're trying to say that. That's not what we're saying. This can help you. Say maybe your thyroid is off a little bit, but isn't 100% off. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but you can take a thyroid supplement to help with that a little bit. The next one we're going to talk about though is vitamin D. So do you want to talk about you have a whole spiel on vitamin D because this is one of your favorites.
So vitamin D is hugely important. And even my patients in Florida are usually deficient. And this past summer, we had dinner with Dr. Eric Berg at a conference, and he sat at our end of the table. And besides him and my boys talking about cars most of the dinner, we chatted a little bit about vitamin D. And so people can have SNPs, SNPs for lots of things. But they're single nucleopeptide polymorphism, which you don't want to say that fast more than once. But it just means you have a defect in the genetic receptor for vitamin D. So sometimes that can be a problem. And but vitamin D helps protect against certain cancers like pancreatic, colon, breast cancer in females, prostate cancer, or in both genders, but prostate cancer in men. Vitamin D is excellent adjunctive therapy for osteoporosis reversal or osteopenia reversal. It is huge for anxiety and depression. A lot of times people get bone pain, and if they add vitamin D, they will feel relief. It's helpful for anxiety and depression. I always tell people most of the time, there's the occasional people that will say, I had bone pain, I took vitamin D and I felt better. But what I tell most patients is you're not going to take your supplements that day and think, that Teresa is brilliant. I'm so glad I took my vitamin D. I feel way better already. You're not going to feel it for the most part, but it's immune and autoimmune. And if your provider offers you a prescription for vitamin D, turn it down because it's D2 and you want to take vitamin D3. Okay, so there's a difference.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know if you mentioned this before, but I kind of wanted to make sure we touched on it. But vitamin D is huge for immune health.
Yeah.
So with COVID and the flu and all, autoimmune. And then another one too is cancer prevention. So there's studies that show that vitamin D is protective against that. So vitamin D is a big one. Now understand, when you take vitamin D, you have to take a couple of vitamins with them. So vitamin K2 and magnesium should be taken with D.
Yep.
And the reason being is because it helps with the transport and it helps with the activation of the vitamin D. So it's important you take those along with it.
Yeah, and transports it where it's supposed to go, like the bones.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's specific cancers associated with D that I talked about. So yeah.
Did I miss it completely?
It's okay.
I glazed over it completely.
Pancreatic, colon, breast cancer, and then prostate cancer.
That's right. You did say that. Yep. Anyway. Sorry.
It's almost like you tune me out sometimes.
Well, no, I was kind of looking over at my notes a little bit to make sure we weren't missing anything. And I was totally missing what you were saying when I did it. So see how that works. All right. The next one we want to talk about is DHEA. So we mentioned it earlier. Mm-hmm. Go for it.
So DHEA is it's a hormone, but it comes in supplement form. And so I think it's the fountain of youth. It offsets cortisol, the stress hormone, helps with anxiety, depression, helps with bone health, insulin resistance, helps transfer fat to lean mass, testosterone, which you need a prescription for, and DHEA are anti-inflammatory. Absolutely love DHEA. For females, I like them to be at least 150 and above, and for the guys, 500 and above. So the guys usually need 50 milligrams of DHEA. The females need 5 to 10. When I was younger, I could not tolerate 10 milligrams of DHEA. I took 5 for a long time, but recently, as I've grown up, I have been taking 10. Now, if you look at studies online or people talking about DHEA online, they tell you that it's the mother hormone that converts to estrogen and testosterone and maybe even pregnenolone. I haven't seen that transfer into my practice. So I'll have breast cancer females, estrogen receptor breast cancer patients, and I just have them on everything but estrogen, but I monitor their estrogen level and it's 0, even on DHEA. But nonetheless, DHEA is hugely important, super cheap. I think a 10 milligram DHEA is $27 for 6 months.
Yeah, for 6 months of supply. It's incredibly inexpensive, and it's over the counter still. For now anyway, it's over the counter.
And also, brands matter.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If you just go to Walmart and pick up something, if you guys really look and follow the money trail, it's really like the pharmaceutical companies, umbrella corporation that makes inferior, terrible supplements.
Yeah.
And so then you're taking them thinking you're doing well. Anyway,
when you're looking for supplements, and we'll talk a little bit of that here in just a minute, is where to find them and whatnot. You want to look for hypoallergenic ones that aren't full of dyes and yeast and all kinds of fillers and things like that. And stay away from the ones that are synthetic. Use ones that use all natural ingredients as well. Because if you go to down the Walmart path or Walgreens or CVS, you end up getting into those Centrums and some of those other things.
And those are just Pfizer.
That's just, those are pharmaceutical companies. It's either Bayer or Pfizer, one of those two. That will do that. So again, this is not an all-exhaustive list by any means. So we have plenty more hormones we can talk about and why there's deficiencies and things you can do to supplement with those, but we wanted to just kind of touch on those. So I wanted to go over a couple of things and just show you guys and give you an idea of what Teresa and I kind of take for our supplements. So this is not one we take, but this is one that Teresa will recommend sometimes at the practice. This is by Pure Encapsulations, and it's a thyroid support complex. So it kind of has a little bit of has several herbs in it, like ashwagandha and whatnot, that are good for the thyroid, but then it also contains some of those ingredients we mentioned earlier, like the vitamin D, the selenium, the zinc, things like that in it as well. And it's kind of all into a one pill kind of deal. So you get a lot more of the support minerals and vitamins and herbs and whatnot in one capsule to take, just to kind of clump it together. So go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say.
That's okay. The next one we'll talk about is also, we love Pure Encapsulations vitamin D. So Teresa uses this at the office quite a bit. So you guys can find this, and we'll talk about Full Script here in a minute, which is our online dispensary, but Pure Encapsulations vitamin D. It comes in multiple dosages. Teresa most commonly prescribes the 5,000 international unit dosage. Okay. But when we do that, she likes to combine it with the vitamin K. And a lot of her patients are also on magnesium too. So remember earlier we mentioned you don't want to take the vitamin D without K2 and without magnesium. So make sure you watch that and work with your provider to do that too.
I know what I was going to say.
Go for it.
So the thyroid supplement, it has ashwagandha in there, like he mentioned, because thyroid can be thrown off if your cortisol is too high. Cortisol wrecks everything. So if you're under stress, not sleeping, hormonally imbalanced, exercising cardiovascularly, you can throw off the adrenals, and then they start competing and aggravating the thyroid. And then if you have no sex hormones, the adrenals are excited, the thyroid's excited. If you can get your cortisol dampened down back to a normal, you get on hormones sometimes if you need to, it will balance everything out. So many times you don't have to go, I love to prescribe thyroid, but many times we don't have to if we can get you on sex hormones, get your cortisol down, and then make other changes like that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, the next one we wanted to talk about also for the thyroid is zinc. So vital nutrients, zinc, and this is zinc citrate, 30 milligrams. And so this is a good for a daily. It's good for if you're trying to also help with your immune system. So, when you get sick, vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, things like that are helpful as well. But this zinc also will help with the thyroid. And that was one of the...
And be very careful when you take that, because it can cause nausea if you take it on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't tolerate a lot of zinc, and sometimes my patients complain of that.
Yep. And you guys have probably seen this before if you've been following our channel or page, but keto electrolytes, This is made by Codage, and this has a combination. We talk about this a lot for keto and low carb and carnivore because it's got the essential electrolytes in it. So potassium, magnesium, and sodium, those three. And we mentioned magnesium, is important to take with your vitamin D because it helps with the transport and the activation of the D. Mm-hmm. So this is one of the ones that we like to use, and we take this daily ourselves as well. And then the last one is just a DHEA supplement. We mentioned that Pure Encapsulations again. We really are Pure Encapsulations and Vital Nutrients brands heavy at our office. Yeah. There's a couple of others we use as well, but for the most part, those are the two big ones. But DHEA, this one is 5 milligrams. I take 25 daily. Teresa takes 5 daily, and they have also, I think, a 50 milligram dosage. Did you mention
not pure?
Okay, not pure.
But my guys have to take 2. So I'm on 5. I thought I was on 10.
Oh, I'm giving you 5 every day. If I'm supposed to be giving you 10, I'm giving you the wrong dosage. I'm in trouble.
I have to go check my labs.
I'm the vitamin fairy, so I'm the one who puts them together in the morning. So, if you guys are interested in ordering those, I would go ahead and throw out there to you guys. We have a full script link that we'll put in the descriptions and/or the comment section of our of this post, and it's pretty much in all of our posts. But we have a bunch of information in there that we'll drop in those sections. But the thing about full script is if you're already ordering supplements and taking them, consider just taking a look, creating an account, which is free to do, and take a look because our prices are really good on there. So Teresa has a dispensary. You're going to get free shipping on any orders that go over $50.
Yep.
So that's tremendously helpful, and $50 is easy to go over when you're ordering supplements. As those of you who take them probably already know that. Yeah. Also, we give a 25% discount. That just comes right out of the box. You guys get a 25% discount if you order off of that dispensary. And I forgot to mention too, they have over 300 brands and over 20,000 products on Full Script. So it's a huge online dispensary.
Yep. What I like to tell people, even if they come in, there are quite a few companies. We just, have gotten into these. And so we don't want to have to order from 5 different places. But when patients bring in other companies, and even if I think they're fine, I will say, go to Full Script or check the ingredients in yours and mine in the office and just make sure you're not overpaying. We don't care what you take. We just don't want you overpaying.
Yeah, if you can find them on Amazon, just be careful what you're ordering. Yes. Try and find something that's reputable. So again, Vital or Pure or Orthomolecular is a really good one. Codage is good. So just be careful. Do your due diligence before you do it. Something else I wanted to mention about Full Script, if you set up auto ship, so if let's say you take your DHEA every 6 months, you can set it up to ship to you every 6 months. And you'll save an additional 5% on top of the 25. So it makes your discount go to 30%. And then about 4 or 5 times a year, they'll have a promotion.
Yeah.
And so you can sign up to receive email and text message alerts on Full Script. And they'll basically text you and email you and just say, hey, we have a promotion coming up. Here's the dates. Here's the discount. And typically it starts at 30%. And sometimes it goes higher than that. So just be on the lookout for that. And it would be great and just for full disclosure, we actually do get a small commission off of that. Yeah. So if you order off Full Script, we do make a little bit off of it.
And we appreciate it.
And we do appreciate that. Yeah. So if you could support us, awesome. Otherwise, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
I did, but it left my brain.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Oh, I know. Well, yeah. We want you guys to be healthy. And we know there's a new year coming up and everyone's going to be, gung-ho for New Year's resolutions and stuff like that. And we just want to help give you the tools that you might need and give you a lot of information. And then you can pick the few that you can tackle or change right now. But
yeah, start small baby steps. And, the best, most effective treatment you're going to get is the one you're actually going to do. So whether it's working out or whether it's, sleeping better or cutting out alcohol, just do it and get that started. And it's surprising how quickly you can actually build that momentum up in a positive direction and start making those other changes you need to in your life.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, if you appreciate what we're doing here, give us thumbs ups and likes and all that other kind of good stuff. And anything else?
No, we just hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. I know we missed Hanukkah, but if you celebrate Christmas, we hope you have a very fun day with your family and you don't stress too much. I hope your presents are wrapped. Hope you're not having to cook all the meal by yourself. Just hope you enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully we'll be back on here before New Year's Day so we can talk to you guys and wish you Happy New Year as well before that. But anyway, all right, guys. Well, as always, we love you guys
so much.
God bless you. And we'll see you next time. And don't forget, food matters.
Bye.
Bye.